audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick Podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick Podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years,
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to the 2025-2026 NHL regular season, which kicks off in just about an hour. Down in Florida, the banner will go up for back-to-back championships for the Florida Panthers as they host the Chicago Blackhawks. But we are here to tee that up and talk all sorts of hockey with you here on the eye test. He's Pierre McGuire. I am Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, how are you, my friend?
Excellent. How you doing, Jimmy?
Good. It's like Christmas morning. I'm excited. We got hockey on in an hour and straight through all tonight, and then plenty of action tomorrow night and Thursday night. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Florida's be interesting to see what happens there. I think obviously a lot of injuries. Barkov, Kachuk. They had a lot of young guys push hard for jobs. Their training camp was really competitive. They're going to have a very good team in Charlotte. Charlotte's a team that went to the American Hockey League championship game or series last year. They lost to Abbotsford. So they got some young guys filtering through their organization right now, and they're probably going to need them this year. That's going to be a tired team. The people can say whatever they want. I think the world of Florida, but they're going to be a tired team.
Yeah, they're up against it. We'll get to it in a bit. I have my predictions, I promised, and you can respond to them if you so choose. But I do have them making the playoffs, Pierre, but I actually have them as the last team in the East.
I'll tell you right now where I have them.
Okay, let's get into it right now. We're going to do our predictions.
Well, I'm not doing predictions, but I'll tell you where I have Florida.
Standings. Okay.
I have Florida as a wild card team.
Yep, I do as well. So here's what I got, Pierre. I'm going to start in the East, and I'm going to give you – I again have the Atlantic bringing 5 teams and the Metro 3.
Okay.
The 5 teams from the Atlantic I have are the Leafs, the Habs, the Lightning, the Senators, and the Panthers. So same.
We agree. We agree.
Yep. I just don't see any changes. I just don't think those other 3 teams did enough. And then in the Metro, I have the Rangers back at it in the playoffs again. I have the Hurricanes and the Devils.
I have Washington, Carolina, and New Jersey. And my 2 teams, if anybody falters, are Columbus and New York Rangers.
Okay. My 2 backups would be the Columbus and I'll say the Red Wings. But I'm not really believing in that too much unless they improve drastically through a trade or something.
Just remember what we talked about before the season started. Tonight the season starts. The team that has the most progressive owner, the wisest GM, and the best pro scouts, that team's probably going to win this year. I know people are saying, you're nuts. How do you know that?
Yep.
I'm just telling you, everybody's equal.
Yeah.
You don't think Stan Bowman needs to make some moves, even though he got Connor McDavid and Jake Wallman signed yesterday?
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to make moves.
Yep. Billy Guerra needs to make moves, even though he had to make moves.
Winnipeg, Adam Lowry's not playing. People don't even know that because nobody cares. Nobody watches Winnipeg unless they live in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
In the East, we're pretty close. I don't agree with you on the Rangers. I think the Rangers still have a lot of work to do. I do. Mm-hmm. Their coaching staff's outstanding. They've got some good players, but they need work. They had to do more work in the offseason. They didn't get it done.
Yep. So the coaching is the difference for me. That's why I got them returning right now, as is.
So you have Washington missing.
I do. I and this is not like I just feel like a lot of things went right at the right time for them last year, and I think they're well on their way. But I see some of their younger guys regressing a bit, and I just. You had to put me on the spot there, didn't you?
No, if you're going to say that, I'm curious because I think Washington's got good young players.
Okay.
I think Ryan Leonard's a good young player. I think Hendricks Lapierre is a good young player. I think David Ferravire is a really good young player.
Maybe I should say some of their older players is what I mean.
So that's okay.
Yeah, that would make more sense. Like, how much do you think John Carlson has left in the tank, Pierre?
He can still play. I would be surprised if he's not a legitimate candidate for the Olympic team.
Wow. Okay. And, some of the other defensemen I'm looking at. How about Chychrun?
Just signed a massive deal. He better not crap out or they're going to have a big problem.
Well, I don't know. I just got a gut feeling about him, but that's
you're allowed. But I was just curious which players you thought weren't progressing. As a young guy, they're young guys because I think their young guys are good.
Yeah,
I think if anything they'll miss. I think they're going to miss Mangiapane. I do. I think they'll miss Mangiapane. I do. I really do.
Let me ask you this, Pierre. Let's say I'm right, and they're not in the playoff hunt. Well, I think they're going to be in the hunt down to the wire. I just think they just missed. But let's say they're even deeper down in the standings than that, and they're there at the trade deadline. You know, everybody's talking about Sidney Crosby, but there's another guy on that team that's in the final.
No.
Ever happen?
Well, I'll never say never. Gretzky got traded. Bobby Orr got traded. I'll never say never. Mark Messier got traded. I'll never say never, but Ovechkin, I'd be surprised. I mean, that's a legacy, man. That's an all-time leading goal scorer in the history of the NHL.
Crosby getting traded, right? And he's a legacy.
He is, but I think it's different. I just think it's different. We'll see.
You know them both. You've known them both since they came in the league.
For a long time.
If you're looking at, so let's say you're looking at them, let's say February. Let's say right before the Olympics. And we can tell that neither team's going to make it, right? Which guy out of the two, and maybe it's a draw, maybe it's a tie, would want to go somewhere and win the cup more, in your opinion?
Oh, no, that's not fair. That's a loaded question because they both want to win the cup. You know, Crosby's got 3, Ovechkin's got 1. This is a separation point. Crosby's got 2 World Junior golds. Okay?
Yep.
No, sorry. Crosby has 1. He lost to the Americans in 2004. Crosby got 1 World Junior gold. He's got 2 Olympic golds.
Right.
And you never know. He might get 3.
Uh-huh.
He's addicted to winning. Ovechkin has World Junior gold.
Yep.
Only 1.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 0 Olympic golds. He's got World Championships, though. And he's got Stanley Cup. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of stuff.
Here. Let's say he is in that situation at the Olympic break, right? And he knows that this season's going nowhere, right? And he's watching. You know it's going to be killing him that he can't be there. I wonder if that anger that he's not there at the Olympics and that desire to win one more title could ever change his mind to maybe move on.
When I thought that would happen, I think it's a good point that you're raising, Jimmy, but I really thought that would happen to him is when Kuznetsov and Backstrom both disappeared from Washington.
Yeah.
When both those guys left, I was like, okay, he has nothing more to prove.
Right. They're kind of turning over.
They're turning it over. They're switching it up. Maybe I'll just go back and finish it off in the KHL.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that. He stayed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of it was to get the number, which he did.
Right.
But, you know, it wasn't that easy. It was a lot harder than I think a lot of people thought. And I think a big reason why it was harder is because Nicky wasn't there and Evgeny Kuznetsov wasn't there.
Yep. All right. Let's switch out east, Pierre.
Yep.
Let's start in the central. Who do you have? Maybe?
No, out west.
West. Excuse me. Yeah. Who do you have?
It's okay. Out west? Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to go in the central. I've got the Avs, the Jets, the Blues, and the Wild. And then in the Pacific, I've got the Knights, the Oilers, the Canucks, and the Ducks. I got 4 and 4.
So I don't. I have 5 and 3.
5
I got Colorado, Winnipeg, Minnie, St. Louis, Dallas. And then I got Vegas, Edmo, Van, with Calgary and Anaheim as my backups.
Okay. So you haven't quite put Anaheim in yet. They're kind of teetering right there, in your opinion.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. I think a lot of people are going to be watching the Ducks, Pierre, this year. I think a lot of, you and I have been pumping up for the last couple of years, saying they're coming. But I think a lot of people right now are starting to realize, obviously with, Joe Quenneville coming in, this team could challenge for a playoff spot. So it's just
that's what I mean. Like, so, what happens if Minnie's got injuries, which is a bit of an issue. Just telling you, I can tell you right now, today they sent a kid down yesterday, Hunter Haight, and he was there, and then all of a sudden he got recalled right away because Nico Sturm's hurt. So I'm just telling you, like, that's just one example. Remember, Zuccarello's hurt. They got 2 guys with major shoulder injuries in the American Hockey League right now. So I'm not saying this is going to last the whole year, but this is just one example. This is why people have to be really careful. Like, nobody can legislate or predict when guys are going to get hurt.
Right.
And we saw some crazy stuff in preseason. Like, Jimmy, come on. The stuff that happened with Ottawa and Montreal, the stuff that happened with Tampa and Florida Panthers. Come on. Like, How about that? So the league goes after Johnny, and you heard me on Melnick. I know you did.
Mhm.
I said I'm embarrassed for both coaches.
Yeah.
I'm watching that, and I respect both those guys. You know,
Yeah.
whether I'm saying it on the air or away from it, you know how much I respect both those guys.
Yep.
And they're both winners. They both won. Those guys can control that. They can say whatever they want.
Right.
I stood in their shoes in some pretty heated freaking battles.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of malarkey. If they say they had no control over that, that's a bunch of malarkey. They let that go.
Yeah. And I have no horse in the race here, Pierre, right? I'm with you. I love both guys. I like both teams. I like both organizations. But my thing was, and I don't know if you agree, like, I thought maybe Maurice could have got a little more punishment from the league than he did. I don't know.
No. So this is all, you know how they say, long memory, have a long memory, have a long memory. I'll remember that. So they say that all the time. All these guys do. And they do. I have a long memory too, you know. I have a very good memory. But that's not the time in the play. I know people say, "Oh no, it's no big deal. There were no point sacrifice." No, what happens if you lose your best player for the year in a stupid thing?
No, it's not right.
Like Brandon Hagel's a very important player for Tampa.
Huge.
He's a really, really important player for that team. You know, Victor Hedman is an important player. All these guys. Aaron Ekblad's a really important player for Florida. Could you imagine if they didn't re-sign him? Most people would say no chance of a three-peat.
Yep.
They would say that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just to put in perspective, and we don't want to get too far off track, but what happens if Aaron Ekblad ended up where most people thought he would in Utah?
Mm-hmm.
What would people be saying right now? Utah is probably going to make the playoffs.
Yep. That's another team I have teetering.
If they
get goaltending,
I think they are definitely trending the right way. I really do. But if you do a really deep dive on everything from top to bottom,
so tell the listeners what you did.
If you really do the deep dive on everything, they're still short. They're just not deep enough. It's getting there. It took time for them to fix it. They're getting there.
But the defense, Pierre, as you and I discussed,
they're not deep enough there yet. You know, and I know they got Sergachev there, and you know he's a good player and everything else. They traded Kesselring away. I get that part, but you know, you look at the depth of the defense. There's one guy that was there. They had to trade to get Sergachev, J.J. Mosier.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. Mosier is a good player, and they had to trade him to get one. So, like you're trading, you're getting guy back, you're trading again, you're getting again. So they traded Kesselring and Moser, two defensemen, one lefty, one righty, and they get Sergachev and J.J. Peterka.
Mm-hmm.
So they get assets.
Yeah. But still,
they lose a big asset on the back end. I know they want firepower. I think Army's doing. And I know he's your buddy. I think Army's doing a good job there. I think but they're doing a good job.
Yep.
I just don't know if they're going to have enough to get it done. And the problem is, you've nailed this. You've been right on this. San Jose's getting better. They are getting better. Anaheim's getting a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting a lot better.
Yeah.
And St. Louis is getting better. I watched St. Louis play a prospects game this fall, I guess you call it. They had 5 first-round picks in the lineup. 5.
Yeah.
Like they got players coming, I'm telling you. And I watched all those games. They got guys coming. So
all right. Well, listen, I'm going to give you my conference finals and my cup final, Pierre.
Okay.
I've got you ready in the West. We'll start in the West since we were just talking about it. I've got the Vegas Golden Knights over the St. Louis Blues. I think the Blues go on a little run in the playoffs.
So you have Vegas representing the West.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I just so you know, I did this exercise yesterday on CBS Sports Network, and I have Vegas going to the Stanley Cup final as well. A little different setup for how they're doing it, but yes.
Yep. All right. And then in the East, and I'm pretty sure we've got the same team, the Leafs over the Rangers in the conference final.
I do not have the Rangers in the playoffs right now, but I have them as if somebody falls through. I have the Rangers and Columbus as my 2 first guys in. I have Toronto in the final against Vegas.
Same ones.
And who do you have winning?
When all is said and done, I have my old friend Bruce Cassidy hoisting his second cup.
They were against each other. I got
Well,
Toronto winning the cup.
It's better.
And here's how I'm looking at it. I got Toronto winning the cup, and this takes me back to 08 and 09.
Mm-hmm.
Our late good friend Ray Shiro in 08 got Marian Hossa from Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
He traded a whack of players and brought him in. Hossa lost the Stanley Cup that year to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
In the summer, he becomes a free agent. He goes to Detroit. Hello, Mitch Marner.
Yep.
I'm a free agent. Go to Vegas. Pittsburgh wins Game 7 in Joe Louis Arena. Marc-Andre Fleury against Nicky Lidstrom. I'm just thinking.
Oh, you calling a Game 6 at T-Mobile Arena?
Mitchell Marner's in Vegas now, and
Yep.
I see Anthony
That's a great
Stolarz
analogy
coming
here.
up with a big save
Yeah,
in Game 6.
Cross.
Yeah.
I love it. That's a
And
great
so
analogy.
Toronto wins the cup.
All right.
People are going to say
Wow.
this guy must be into it or something.
Yeah.
I think Toronto's winning the Stanley Cup this year.
So that'd be the second time that Berube beats Cassidy in the final.
That's true too.
Yep.
The one, and I know I told Jimmy this. I didn't tell a lot of people that I really thought Toronto would win last year. I mean it sincerely.
Yeah.
And if you're really being fair about it, they were up 2-0 in their series.
Yep.
They go into Game 3. They got a lead going into the second period. Stuff happens. Stolarz,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Joe Woll.
That.
They never came back, and really what crushed them, they won Game 6, but Game 5, the way they lost Game 5 at home, that destroyed them.
Yep.
They showed a lot of courage to win Game 6 in Florida the way they did, but they had nothing left in the tank, and they got wiped out in 7. So 5 and 7 killed that team.
Yeah.
But if you really just be fair for one second, this is not Florida won the cup. Florida was the best team. For sure they were. But think about how precarious the situation was for them.
Yeah. And they would tell you the same thing. I mean, every team, Pierre, you've been on playoff runs like that when you win I'm sure you look back at moments and you say, man, if that bounce had gone the other way, maybe I'm not sitting here drinking out of the cup. You never know. Like there's a lot of moments like that along the way.
The Bowman factor matters, and he learned this from Toe Blake, and he shared it with me. Every playoff, whether you win all 4 series in runaways or you're maxed out to 7 games in every series you got to slay the dragon. Something in a series, it's an injury, it's penalties against you, it's a guy getting sick, your goalie plays poorly, whatever it might be. The other team plays out of their mind. 71, Ken Dryden beats the Boston Bruins. I don't even know who he was. Even though they drafted him, they didn't even know who he was. So, you always got to slay the dragon. Yeah,
I'm with you on that. So, yeah, that's what we're looking like, and we will get to the questions section in a bit, and if you guys have picks, let us know as well. The other thing, speaking of Toronto, Pierre, I want to bring up, I texted to you right before we came on. Austin Matthews today was asked about, what he thought of Connor McDavid's contract and the fact that, McDavid clearly took one for the team and he wanted to win. And people took a part of his answer and ran with it as opposed to taking the whole answer, which if you listen to it or you read the whole answer, you realize he wasn't being selfish. People say, it's all about him right now. This was the quote. So he says, I think for him, it's all about winning. It's setting himself up for the best opportunity to do that. So that's what a lot of people are stopping with that clip. I've heard our friends up in Montreal and TSN 690 but just played that part, but then they finally played the rest. And people are just running with that saying, see, he's just saying that's what Connor's like, but I'm not like that. He never said that. He goes on. It's what everybody wants to do is win. There you go. He's committed as anybody to it. I see nothing wrong with that, Pierre.
Can you just tell me?
Matthews.
Yeah, tell me who's ripping him apart.
Just the fans. It's all fans in Toronto.
First of all, the fans are entitled to say whatever they want.
They are.
They are. I'm just telling you. And I've always felt that way. And I respect them because without fans, we don't have a league. And without a league, you and I don't have work. Mm-hmm. And so.
But I don't blame the fans.
All I'm trying to say is I'm just trying to.
No, I think it's great what you're saying.
Take the temperature down.
Yeah.
And this is for the fans. I totally respect you, all of you. And people that are fans know when you see me, I don't walk away and I spend time and I do stuff. And nobody else, it doesn't matter what I do. All I'm saying is Austin Matthews is not a loser, and Austin Matthews is
wants
not
to
a quitter. And Austin Matthews someday is going to get to the top of the mountain. And you know what? Some people don't know exactly what he was going through last year. In fact, I'd say most people don't physically. If he's healthy this year, he's ringing up 50 to 60.
Yep.
And then what are people going to say?
Yeah.
And can I just add one more thing, Jimmy? Because
go ahead, Pierre.
I have so much respect for Dougie Gilmore. And I really do. Like, I coach games against him. I almost bought his house in Montreal. We had an amazing discussion. Yeah, a long time ago when he was playing there. We had the best discussion about it. Lots of different things. I had a ton of respect for Dougie. And I read something that he said with Daryl Sittler the other day about the Leafs. And he couldn't be more right. He goes, in this marketplace, unfortunately, the regular season doesn't matter anymore. You got to win in the playoffs. And if you don't win in the playoffs, it's not working.
Right.
It's not working. So those guys know. Like, Sittler knows. Gilmore knows. You know, Gilmore won the Cup in '89. Sittler never won the Cup.
Yeah.
You know, the last time the Leafs won the Cup was 1967. I was looking at it, another one of my not stupid, but one of my fact-finding exercises this morning. The first Conn Smythe ever won was Jean Beliveau, 1965.
Okay.
In 1967, the last time the Toronto Maple Leafs won the Stanley Cup, Dave Keon won the Conn Smythe.
Right.
Okay, just so we're
and that's a long
that's
time.
a long time.
I wasn't even
We're almost at 60 years.
Yeah, I'm 51, and I wasn't even born, or I will be 51.
I watched it. I was watching it. I was 7 years old, 6
I
years
just want
old.
to clarify, Pierre, I have no problem with fans reacting the way they are. My problem was with the way it had been delivered by a lot of people in the media on social, where they were just taking a snippet. And I just don't think that's fair. If you have an opinion about what Austin Matthews said and you're in the media, that's fine. You're entitled to that. But present the whole story and the whole situation. And I think they know that if they just take that little bit, it's going to get a ton of play. And I just didn't like the style there. That's all.
I'm with you.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm with you. I think he has a huge year. By the way, for all our Montreal listeners, I know we didn't mention in the predictions there, I do have them making the playoffs. I have them winning a round this year. I think they progress, and they lose to Toronto in the second round. That's where I think they're
You
doing.
have Montreal winning a round?
Yep. They win one round, and then they lose to Toronto. That's where I just think they're on this.
You're better than me.
Ooh, you think they're stuck in the first?
Because they got I don't want to say who I have them playing against. They got a bad first round matchup.
Okay.
They got a stinky first round matchup, and that's the only reason why I don't have them win in the first round. It's kind of like last year, Jimmy. Could they have gotten a worse matchup than Washington at the time when they got Washington?
In terms of winning in that moment, no.
Yeah, like
in
that's just a bad. It's just a bad matchup.
It was
for them.
Yeah.
Like, Florida would have been a bad matchup for them.
Yep,
it would have been. But they.
I don't want to disrespect any team when I say what a good matchup would have been, but I do think they could beat the Senators.
You know what? Maybe. But I'll tell you a good match. No, that's going to be for the next 7 to 10 years. That's going to be bloodletting between those two, especially after what Michael Landauer said the other day.
Oh gosh,
the owner of Ottawa, and I sent it to you, Jimmy.
I didn't understand that, Pierre.
I don't understand it either. But and people in Tampa know. I really think the world of their team. I think last year. Montreal had Tampa last year. If they had them as a matchup, I think they could have beat them. I'm not saying they would have guaranteed, but I think they could have.
Yeah, and on terms of another team, Pierre, that I was looking at, and this isn't to knock the team. They were just so banged up when they went into that first round, the New Jersey Devils. I mean, I was surprised they didn't get swept by the Canes. You know, it was just they were behind the 8 ball right away. It was nothing they could do. So
no, injuries. Yeah. Were a problem.
So
big problem. This is fun. I'm having fun. Thanks.
I know. I can't. It's hockey.
I'm getting good news. I'm getting people texting me.
I know. Me too.
It's all good.
Pierre, quickly, we haven't. I think because we went off the air right as the rosters were submitted. Were there anyone around the league surprises that made their team's roster and someone you want to urge our fans to keep an eye on that you think can actually stick and have an effect?
Sammy Blais.
I like that pickup.
Oh man. And that, look, at Montreal's in a rocket. And I saw people talking about, I was on, by the way, this morning on NHL radio with Gord and Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. And Jimmy, I'm just telling you right now, like I get people want to go after the Canadiens because they lost Sammy Blais.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you want him to like
push out of the lineup? Yeah.
Out of the lineup. Just tell me.
I always felt, Pierre.
It's okay to like say that, but if you're gonna say it, like it's like before when you said to me, well, Washington.
Yeah, and I know.
And so I said, well, like who?
Right.
Tell me.
You're right.
I didn't like yell and scream at you. Just tell me who.
Yeah.
I want to learn. Like, if you give me a good answer, I say, you know what, Jimmy, and you know how our discussion goes. You know what, Jimmy, that's a good point. Yeah. I didn't think of that.
Yep.
You know what? So if you think that Sammy Blais, you think the Canes really wanted to lose Sammy Blais, they had no choice. You can only protect 23 guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going through this now as a father. You know, every day my kid's in a torture test. Like every other kid fighting for a job. You know, and you're waiting. What's the waiver wire look like today? Are they going to send 3 guys down? And if they do, I know who's the odd man out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a first-year pro. Well, last spring was his first-year pro, but you know what I mean.
Full season.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people in that boat, and that's a hard way to live every day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of guys right now that I think 3 years ago, they wouldn't be sitting looking for jobs right now. They'd be on a roster. And that's not just because of their age. It's just the league is so much more competitive every year. And
don't you think that he's a good pickup for them?
I do. And I disagree with Jay Fed in the comments section saying he's a nobody 14th forward. He's a Stanley Cup champion, Jay Fed.
Oh, wait a second. What? And I don't know. Do I know Jay?
No, I don't know if we know him. But.
Jay, I'll just say this. I mean this. He might be that to you, but ask Craig Berube what he means to him.
Mm-hmm.
And ask his teammates in St. Louis what he means to them.
Yeah.
And so he wins races. This is a guy that definitely knows the difference between pain and injury. Mm-hmm. And if you were to ask the Vancouver Canucks people when he won a Calder Cup last year with Abbotsford, how important he was for that, he could have buried his head and said, you know what, I got enough money. I'm done with this crap. I'm not staying out here playing in the American Hockey League. Why would he do that?
Mm-hmm.
This guy loves to play.
Yeah,
I celebrate the fact that he still wants to play through all the injuries he's had.
In that 2019 series with the Bruins, Pierre, I remember him. He was a machine. He was everywhere.
So much respect for him. It's easy to knock a guy. This guy has serious character. Yeah. You know, that's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying that he's a top 9 forward because I don't think he is.
No.
But is he a good player to have in an organization? Yep.
Is he a guy I want? Is it 13th forward and to come in the playoffs?
God. Think about what he does for your practices every day.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing I was going to say too, Pierre. Some of these teams where they didn't keep a PTO player or something. Some of those players, like you see it, you go to these practices, just to have them there, the experience for the younger kids to have some of these veterans there. You know, like I saw some great statement.
Jimmy. What a good statement by you.
Yeah.
I know it didn't end well for Milan right now, but they said, hey, we'll revisit it, when he gets healthy.
There's a reason.
You know who I felt really bad for? Because I watched all their games.
Yep.
I do work for them, and I'm working for them tonight before the game starts with Colby Armstrong with the Pittsburgh Penguins radio network. I felt terrible for Robbie Fabry.
Yeah.
Robbie Fabry had a phenomenal preseason.
Mm-hmm.
He did, Jimmy. And you could see he was trying to help all those young kids.
Yep.
He's part of a Stanley Cup winner in St. Louis. He's been so hurt, Jimmy. Like his lower body is just a mess. This guy's just barely hanging on, as a player. And you could see like he wanted to be part of that, and they're just going to go in a different direction.
Yep.
It's hard to watch that.
Yeah. It is. So any other players, Pierre, young guys, like I know you look at Nashville, they've got their first round pick. Brady Martin's going to be their first line center right now.
You go back and get the tapes. I remember telling you before the draft, is there one guy in this draft that might be able to surprise people that won't go in the first 5 or 6 rounds? And I said, yeah, one guy, Brady Martin from Sault Ste. Marie.
Yep.
I was the only guy. And the only reason I said that, salt of the earth, farming family, tough kid. He's going to do it. He'll dive face first in front of the shot. If he has to, he'll fight. I don't think he'll be able to do that yet because he's just not mature enough.
Yeah.
He's farmer strong. He's doing amazing. I don't know how good Nashville's going to be this year, Jay. I don't think they're a playoff team. I don't know what you think. I don't think they're a playoff team. But I love those stories.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see. I mean, I remember, Pierre, must have been my second year or third year. My third season covering the NHL. Yeah, it was right before the lockout, before the nuclear winter. Was Patrice Bergeron's rookie season. And watching him come into camp and just turn heads and make that team and actually have an impact on the team. Him and Raycroft were battling for the Calder Trophy that season. But just to see that kid come in and see the stuff a coach tries to instill that was already there. Like you could see he had it. And that's pretty cool to watch.
I think that's phenomenal. What a good story. I'm glad you shared that. It's true.
Yep. And he didn't speak a word of English.
How come the media guys never write that stuff? Like, you're a writing guy.
Yeah.
Why do you guys ever write that? Because it's not sexy?
We do need to write more of that stuff. You're right.
But it's not sexy? Just tell me. I don't know. Like, I'll listen.
I think, maybe that's a reflection of society. Like, feel-good stories aren't feel-good anymore. It's not.
For 15 years, I wrote at Sports Illustrated. I wrote a weekly column. It was called In the Crease. It was created by Paul Fichtenbaum and the great Michael Farber. And they hired me after I did a writing test at a hotel in Montreal. I'm not kidding you. And they didn't believe I was an English major, but I was. Anyways, I knew how to punctuate and everything else was good. And I loved writing that column. I wrote that column every Saturday night, whether it was before a game or after a game. But I just compiled notes from all my travels during the week. Whether it was about a coach that was having a hard time with a player, whether it was about a player who was getting along great with his teammates, or a guy that had, we told a great story about Pekka Rinne in Nashville, how he got drafted. Yanni Kikalainen called Ray Shero and David Poyle and said, you better come watch him in the warm-up because he's never playing ahead of Nick Backstrom. And they drafted him sight unseen. They never saw him play a game. So I wrote that in Sports. Like, celebrate those amazing stories.
Yeah.
I know people are going to say, McGuire, you lost your mind. You can make the argument if you go do the numbers and the breakdown and everything else. And if there a couple more guys get in as goalies in the Hall of Fame, you can make an argument for Pekka Rinne.
Oh, I agree. I'm on your side.
You go look at the numbers.
Yeah, totally.
It's unbelievable.
One of the most consistent goalies of my time.
He
sure.
was.
Especially since I've been a reporter. For
Yeah.
sure.
So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you, Pierre.
Never seen by the upper management in a game.
You don't see those
That would never happen again.
I wish more writers did those weekly columns still. I know there's still a few, but I mean, like
you know who did them.
Every Sunday morning I had to read dupes.
I know that he listens to the show and watches, and we're big fans. I wish Kevin Paul Dupont was still like.
I know. Yep.
I know it. Look, if Father Time kicks in for everybody, we got to sometimes take a little break.
Yep.
He was so good at that.
Oh yeah, that inspired me to be a writer. That column that week.
I used to get the Boston Globe just because of that.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like all the time.
Mitch Melnick used to tell me he used to get the Globe for that, and Peter Gammons in baseball.
Gammons was good on
baseball. Will McDonough in football.
I had Will McDonough for football. I liked the Will McDonough's pieces.
Were you at Sports Illustrated when he was there?
No. Okay. I think Will had passed away or was getting close to passing away.
Legend.
Oh my gosh. Now, when I was coaching in the league, I met Will because he was around the Bruins a lot. You know, when football season was over, he'd be hanging out at the Garden.
Yep.
Like in the real Garden, Jimmy, where your grandfather used to take you, not this new place.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Pierre, you know what? Let's get over. We got the questions lining up. People are excited about the season openers here. So let's tell you about our wonderful sponsor, Vago, up in Montreal. Vago combines old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion, open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. located at 1336 Green Avenue in the Westmount neighborhood of Montreal. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, 514-846-1414. And of course, Betway, where you can go right now and bet on all the games that are starting up tonight, tomorrow night, and into the weekend, but also all the futures. Pierre and I just gave you some of our forecasting for the season here. We'll go over there and throw a $5 bill on. Who cares? Throw $5 down. You might pick a long shot. You never know. That's the beauty of hockey. That's the beauty of hockey now. There's so much parity. I mean, some of these teams that we didn't list, one of them will probably make it. That always happens, right? There's always a team you didn't know.
CBJ and Anaheim are the two.
Yep. And you can still get great value on those teams.
Those two could surprise a lot of people. CBJ.
By the way,
I think Dino, we got to get Dino on.
We'll get
him
on.
What? I know you're tight with Mr. Waddell.
Yep. Let's get Dino on.
Let's get Dino on. I'm
Let's
serious.
Do it. I grabbed Adam Fantilli in my draft there, Pierre.
Mike Madonna Jr., baby. Mike Madonna Jr.
He's up for a big year. All right, let's get – oh, excuse me. You have to be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Always bet responsibly. And remember, the offer is not available in Ontario. All right, let's get over to the Q&A. What do we got? Bert L., do you guys believe the punishment handed out to Tampa Bay fit the crime?
I think there should have been punishment the other way, too.
Yeah, I'm with Pierre.
So I think it worked out well. I've actually been fined by the league, so I can say that I've been in Cooper's shoes with the fine. It wasn't as much, a little less, but I was fined. So, yeah, I do. And I think it could have had a little bit towards Florida, too, if you want to know the truth.
All right, next question. Stephen Cardinal, or is it Stefan? I apologize if I got it wrong. Great show, guys. Always watch. Can you guys believe the Habs kept Villano over Blaze and Stanley Cup winner?
Yeah, but part of that, I think, Stephen, I think part of that, Stephen, is that Villano kills penalties. Not saying Sammy doesn't, he can, but it's a face-off part of it. Remember, they lost Christian Dvorak, and I think that's something they're concerned with. So Villano, one night in Toronto, I think in the playoffs, he went over 60% of his face-offs. So that was his dress rehearsal, and he did it. He's got almost 400 games of NHL experience. He hasn't been hurt where Sammy's been hurt. So I do kind of get it, but I wish they could have kept both. I do. I just wish they could have. They obviously couldn't.
All right, next question. Sound the siren. What's up, brother? Guys, despite some of us getting up in years, do you still find that youthful excitement is just as high as it was last year or 20 years ago? I'm so freaking excited. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I couldn't sleep last night. I kept waking up wanting the hockey to start. So
the day that I'm not excited for a game, I'm going to get out. I'll tell you. I'm just going to say, Jimmy, you're my friend. I like you a lot. I'm not talking hockey anymore. But I hope that never happens to me.
All right.
I just learn every day. I love to learn, and this is what I've chosen to learn about. So
you'll be talking it right at the pearly gates, my friend. But I hope that doesn't happen for a long, long time.
Well, you never know.
All right, next question.
I'll tell my mom that. She'll be pissed.
Juice, which NHL team has to get off to a good start this year to avoid backlash from the media or their fan base? I think it would be your team, Juice, for sure. The Canadians. I think the Rangers are in there. Red Wings.
I have one that
Oilers.
I have one though that nobody's going to pick. The Carolina Whaler Canes.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because they're still getting picked by everybody to be in the Final Four.
They need to have a good start because last year, it's amazing. Sound the siren was just on. Last year, they did not have a good start.
Oh. They bounce back though.
They bounce back big because they have a great coaching staff. That coaching staff's really good. So Timmy Gleason and Jeff Daniels don't get nearly enough credit. The two assistant coaches, and Brindamore's great, but those two assistant coaches are really good. They make players that are better, and that's the assistant's job, is to make guys better. They do a really good job of that.
Yeah, I saw. You know who Sound the Siren had on his podcast? I'm gonna have to check it out. Remember Peter Harold?
Yeah. The development coach there, I think, right?
Yep. Yeah, so let's check.
Peter was a really smart player. He was. I told that to Darren.
Didn't he come up in the Kings organization?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
I remember seeing him in Manchester.
Good for you.
I remember him. watching
That's
him.
good, Jimmy. That's going way back in the time machine. That's good.
All right, next question. Randy Workman, Pierre and Jimmy,
Yes.
have you seen Matvei Gradin? Is that how you pronounce it, Pierre?
Yeah.
Play? Are you surprised he made the team in Calgary?
No.
So he's good. Eh?
Excessive skill level. Not surprised.
Calgary's got a lot of fun young players to watch. I don't know how good they're going to be, but I like some of the players in that lineup.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
I wish they would have got some older guys that could kind of stabilize. Like I know Kadri and Backlund are there. That's good. I start reading this thing today about Rasmus Anderson and how Ottawa wants him. Well, there's not a better fit. Like if you know Ottawa's team, and I know we talk about it.
Mhm.
Ottawa needs a right D man.
That's
they
the
need
solution.
that. That's like the fit. It's the fit
They've
of all
been looking
fit.
for that forever.
Yeah, it's the fit of all. Trust me, when I was there, we were trying. That's the fit of all fits.
Yep.
What do you have to pay to get them?
And can you outbid a team that we were talking about earlier? We think it's going to the Stanley Cup final because all of a sudden they've got a lot of money to spend.
Yeah,
Vegas Golden Knights. So
they do, and without Alex, $8.8 million. They got $8.8 million to play with. Who's a right D?
So
imagine that.
Yeah,
they already did a Noah Hannafin deal. Like they've already done deals.
Yeah, Anderson's not finishing the season in Calgary. I just don't see it.
So the one fair point. Here's what I want to ask you. Let's just say they're knocking on the door. Let's just say they're right there. They're 3 to 4 points out with 12 games to go.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, more. It'd have to be more than that. With 20 games to go.
When's the deadline? The 6th? I think it's like March.
Yeah, March the 6th. I think right after they get back from the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. I might have to keep them.
Mm. We'll see.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting for him.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see. All right. Next question. Pierre, do you think the Rangers have the most complete coaching staff in the league? I think they will have a huge bounce back year.
I don't know about the bounce back year. I think it's not the coaches that are going to be the problem there. I think they have a lack of depth on defense. I think they have very limited depth scoring. They better hope Noah Laba can score a lot. He's a young kid out of Colorado College. He's originally committed to Colgate University and poached on his bid and went out to Colorado College.
Mm-hmm. Is he the same age as Ryan? Would they have played together?
Yeah, they would have played together. So he's a really talented kid. Laba's a good player. He is a really good player, and I'm really happy he made the team. But I don't think they have enough depth scoring. I don't think they have enough depth on defense. So their coaching staff is outstanding. Is it the most complete staff? It's really good. I just talked about Carolina's. I think Carolina's staff is fantastic. I really do. I think Toronto's staff is really good.
I like Toronto's staff.
Toronto's staff is way better. Like Mike Van Ryan's a really good worker with defensemen. He's a lot like Tim Gleason down in Carolina. They're really similar when they work with guys. I think Derek Lalonde going in there after they lost Lane Lambert to Seattle as a head coach. I think Derek would do that's his role.
Yeah.
He did an amazing job in Tampa. When they were winning cups, I'm telling you.
He was a big part of that.
He was a huge part of it. So I think he does a good job. And Mark Savard's been very good with a lot of their power play guys. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be a big test for Mark, obviously, because you don't have Mitchell Marner now. So it's going to be – but I think Toronto staff's really good. And you know what? Underrated sneakies, Montreal. Trevor Letowski's good.
I was going to say that, Pierre.
Trevor Letowski, St. Louis is good. He's got street cred. And I just think Letowski's way undervalued. I think he does a lot of good work with those forwards, a lot of it.
All right, next question. Franco, how much do UFA years matter in contract negotiations? People keep using Lacombe and Hughes as comparables to Hudson, but both enter UFA sooner. Sorry, I lost the screen there, Pierre. 1 sec.
All right. You want me to read it?
Yeah, finish it.
People keep using Lacombe and Hughes as comparables to Hudson, but both enter UFA sooner, at least 2 years before Hudson does. That's fine, but people do utilize UFA years. Contract negotiators utilize that. Agents do it, and the team does it as well. So, yeah, no, it's used a lot. I don't think it's a problem either way. Both guys, both players are good. Jackson Lacombe's a really good player. My biggest thing is this is not a hard negotiation. I know there's a lot of emotion in it. I read all the reports. how is this going to be hard to get?
It's going to be fine.
Hard. It's not that hard to do.
It's going to be fine. I know you heard the clips of Ken Hughes yesterday with Mitch.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. I know everybody gets all full of drama here. It's not a big deal. He's going to get what he gets.
Yep.
The one I'm going to say it again. Noah Dobson was a good pickup for Montreal. There's a reason why the Islanders didn't pay him. Montreal chose to pay him.
Yep.
Let's see if it works.
All right. Next question. Ethan Russell, do you think the Hurricanes are ahead of themselves? So much talk about Carolina. I don't see it with that back end and goaltending. I'm with you, Ethan.
Sorry, you were asking us about coaching yesterday. Good job.
Yep. I mean, the coaching's there, but Pierre, I'm with you. Like you said it about the back end there. People don't realize how much they're going to miss Brett Burns.
I don't think people realize Brent Pesce's gone. He's in Jersey. Brady Shea's gone. He's in Nashville. Scotty Morrow, one of their best young prospects, and I know they got other guys. He's in New York for Keandre Miller. Brent Burns has gone to Colorado. You start losing that many guys in a couple years, it's a major turnover, and I still don't think they've addressed their goaltending.
No. All right, next question. Hendricks that can play, bro. As a coach, how do you elevate Martin St. Louis? How far can he push the team?
I think Marty's done a good job. I didn't like the way they started last year, but I love the way he responded this year in training camp. Been a harder camp. He's been way more intense. He's created standards, which I think are good. He's learned. He delegates really well, I think, to his assistants. So I think that's really positive. I only see good things with him. I think his bench management's gotten a lot better. He's going to have to figure it out with Suzuki, Caulfield, and Safkowski this year.
Yeah.
Because matchups, they're going to be one of the top 5 lines in the league. So you're going to have to figure out, especially when you're on home ice, how to figure out rotation of the lines to keep those guys away. Yep. It's easier to do on home ice, but you'd be surprised if you get a guy that's really good matching. They could eat them up sometimes, and so you got to pay attention. It's an underappreciated dark art of coaching in the league. Managing your bench on the road and managing your bench at home. It's vastly underappreciated.
And I think too, obviously once they figure out who's going to be that 2 seed, things will fall into place a little more from in terms of lines. So, all right, next question. TG, Pierre, if you were coaching the Islanders this season, how would you manage how much Schaefer plays, considering it's a condensed schedule and he didn't play much last season? That's a great question, TG.
It's a really good question. I do it in concert with my general manager. I do it in concert with the trainers. I do it in concert with his agent. And I do it obviously with the player. And I'd explain it all out. I'd have it just the way Matt Cater and Pat Verbeek did it with Leo Carlson. They did an amazing job with Leo Carlson. So the player knew what was expected. The coach knew what was expected. The GM knew what was expected. The trainers knew. And the player knew.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody could yell and scream at anybody.
Yep.
Why are you sitting me out?
Age.
They were all singing from the same songbook. So that's what I would do. And you learn when you pay attention to different things. The Leo Carlson one's a good one to learn on.
Yep.
It's a really good one to learn on.
Totally agree. And I hope Matt Cater, if he's watching, hello, good luck this season with your clients. All right, next question. Las Papas 9628. Do you think Oliver Kapanen can become a Brandon Hagel type of player beside Demidov?
Similar. He's not as physical. Hagel's a little bit of a nasty piece of business. But yeah, the answer is yes. Because Hagel and Kapanen process the game pretty similar.
Yeah.
They do. It's a great call. What was the name of that questioner?
You want to put that back up there, Shane, please? If we can get that.
It's a really good point. Las Papas. Las Papas.
Okay, thanks, Shane.
Really good point. They do process it, but there's a physical bite to Hagel's game that Kapanen doesn't have. Doesn't mean he won't find it, but he doesn't have that yet.
All right, next question. Brad K. If Edmonton doesn't win the Cup this season, will trade talks involving McDavid keep the Oilers from the Cup next season?
So this is very important for Brad because it was presented to me today by our very good friend, Mr. Bowman. And he doesn't even know, and his son's a GM of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Is there no trade or no move in that contract extension?
That's what as you said that, I was already starting to look it up. Let's see.
I don't think that's been released. I could be wrong.
I have not seen it yet.
I haven't heard it or seen it, and that's why I'm asking, because
Well, our
that
friend
could,
Puckpedia should have it if there is one.
but everybody's saying it's a 3-year runway, but it might only be a 2-year runway.
You know what? So Puckpedia is not updated.
That's what I'm telling you, Jimmy.
So he's still trying to find out.
There-
And if he hasn't found out, that's interesting.
It's just something that's
That's
subtle.
an interesting topic, Pierre.
But we, this morning, like, how we war game.
Yeah.
I do it with you.
Yep.
I do it with Scotty. So you're always trying to look at different avenues and openings and what could create a problem or what's a really good thing.
Chris Nosek is saying full no movement, but I guess he just hasn't updated the chart. That he
I haven't
has.
seen it. I don't know about it. So until I know about it, I can't comment. But it could only be a 2-year runway. If it's a full no move, then it's a 3-year runway.
Yep. Okay. I see it. It was at the top. My bad. Yeah.
It is?
Full no movement for each year. The next two.
Perfect. There you go. So there you go.
All right.
So at least now we know. See?
Exactly.
Gotta have it. But that's what we were thinking about this morning. Like, how do you – everybody's saying it's a 3-year runway. But what happens if it doesn't work out?
Well,
Then what do? You can't keep the – what happens if the guy he doesn't want to go anywhere? Or maybe he does want to go somewhere.
I think he'll just dictate it.
Yeah.
Whatever he says will happen. All right. Next question. Main BSD. Do you guys think Montreal is fumbling the Lane Hudson signing, knowing the recent updates, and might pay more than Dobson contract? Just came in. Maybe you guys can answer.
No, that's a good question. No. Look, I think that he will get more than Dobson. I think he's going to get $10 million a year. That's more than Dobson. That's what I think he'll get. He might even get a little more. I don't know, but that's what the market is right now. He's a spectacular player.
All right. Next question. Ethan Russell, point prediction for Coronado.
65.
Ooh, right away he had it there. All right. Remember that. Next question.
I'm going to write it down.
We got it on tape. You're good.
I'm writing it down.
A good point production, though, for Coronado. Ethan Russell.
I'm just a huge fan of the player.
Jimmy, what were your thoughts on the Bruins press conference? They overpromised in the spring. Seems like they admitted a little. Yes, I completely agree, Ethan. That's what I came away with, was like somebody said, all right, we got to pump the brakes and walk it back a bit.
Do you think they were watching the eye test?
I think they were. I think they
when we were like, whoa, fellas,
Yeah.
take a deep breath here.
Here's an interesting one, Pierre, and I got to send you the video. Okay.
What was the line, Jimmy? I just want to make sure I remember it. We're not just a playoff team. We're a team that's going to make noise in the playoffs.
Yes. Yeah.
And I said to you, Jimmy, what?
Yeah. So then they also, the one thing I thought was interesting was, because I know a lot of people that have season tickets to Bruins, and about half of them got rid of their tickets this year, Pierre. And I heard a lot of things that season ticket sales were going down. And Charlie Jacobs was asked by our good friend Kevin Paul DuPont about that yesterday. And it almost seemed like he knew he was going to get asked, and he had that answer.
Well, that's good. That's
right,
smart.
Right. But it was, when you watch like it was just so robotic. You know what I mean? It didn't.
No, I get that part.
But then when the follow-up came, he fumbled a bit. So I wonder, they have to know that the interest is waning a bit. And even if they're not going to make the playoffs, they have to somehow keep the interest there right now, because I think that's why they tried to make the team tough again, is because they know that sells here. So that's an interesting thing to watch as we go on with their attendance.
I agree.
Yeah. That's what I think. All
I
right.
agree. You know what? You can too. I think, quite frankly, too, with all the Boston draft picks that are at BC,
Mm-hmm.
you got to hope that those guys start to get going.
Oh, yeah.
So they lost their first game at home to Quinnipiac on Friday night. I watched the game. It's not nearly the same team as they had at BC the last couple of years, just because there's no Ryan Leonard, and there's no Perreault. They lost guys. I mean, let's be honest. They just lost some really good players. This is really an important year for Higgins, who was a first-round pick of Boston. It's a really important year for Gazzo, who's a Bruins pick.
Mm-hmm.
Letourneau. It's really big year for Letourneau, huge year. And it's a big year for Munishin, who's a Dallas pick.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have Jacob Fowler, man. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. I don't know much about that goalie either, Pierre. You probably know.
Well, he's good. He's not Jacob Fowler, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, the Bruins somehow got to hope those guys get going, because that percolates interest in the marketplace, because they know those guys are coming.
Yep. And it's right.
And by the way, BC goes to Minnesota this weekend.
For 2.
Yeah.
Fun. Weird Thursday, Saturday schedule they have there. I noticed that. It was weird.
You know what? We got to check that out, because Penn State's doing that too.
Yeah.
So is that be for Major League Baseball?
Oh, maybe now, yeah, because you're still going head to head with. Good point.
Like the Rangers tonight have opening night at home, and the Yankees are playing a potential knockout game with the Blue Jays tonight
at Yankee Stadium. Yeah,
at Yankee Stadium. So that's kind of a stinky.
Yeah, if it wasn't opening night, I bet you they would have switched the Rangers time for sure.
I think you're right.
You know, I've
seen. But remember, so it's a triple header on ESPN. So 5 o'clock. 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. I think the last game is going to be the best one. Avs at the Kings.
Colorado, LA.
Yep. All right. Next question. Sound the siren. Pierre, obvious retool with Pittsburgh, at least I think. No, you're right. But does Dan Muse have a lengthy leash to walk through this thing? That's a good question. I hope so.
So far, he's pushed all the right buttons there. The players respect him and like him. Ownership respects him and likes him. I know Dan to say hello. I've never sat down, like with most of the coaches I've sat down over the years and had X's and O's conversations. I've never done that with him. But everybody's told me he's a very highly thought of, very competent X and O's guy. And I've watched all their preseason games, and I've worked a bunch of them, and I think they're having an amazing run to get ready for this season. So nothing but good things coming out of Pittsburgh right now. They got Jimmy, you know what? They're one team. The first 15 games for this team matter, because if they get off to a hellacious start, then the rumors are going to start, and then it's going to become Camp No Fun, and then it becomes a tough March.
Yep. All right, let's go. What do we got? Juice, Jimmy, Pierre, what was the inspiration to start the eye test? Good question.
Go ahead.
I mean, for me, it was like I've just known Pierre forever. We have amazing hockey conversations off the air. And I feel like a lot of listeners and viewers would enjoy them. And we just want to bring our hockey knowledge together. And of course, with the advent of podcasts and everything, this is becoming such a big thing. I approached Pierre about it, and we talked about it, and we decided to do it. And it's been wonderful.
It's been Jimmy's idea all the way through. I'm just glad to be part of it. And the guys at Sick Podcast in Montreal have done an amazing job. And Nello and his family, the Cavaleros, have been fantastic. Yeah. I just want these people to do so well. They're awesome people to work for.
It's pretty amazing. And Sammy's such an amazing story too. Everything that he's
the only problem with Sammy is Sammy cheers for that football team in Tennessee, and I just don't get that. I don't get that, man. I don't get that.
Good stuff. All right, that's it for our questions. That's a good question to end on. And yes, we are happy to be here with the Sick Podcast Network, and we're happy to be hosting with each other here on the Eye Test. And we're happy to have all of you out there that come here every day and ask these awesome questions. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your support. Everybody out there, enjoy the hockey tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more Canadians with their season opener against the Leafs. But until then, he's Pierre McGuire. I'm Jimmy Murphy. This has been another edition of the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.